Welcome back, everybody. On our previous video, we'd done some gold work and got a dot out, one of the largest dots I've ever gotten. So we're going to weigh it up here and see what we've got. Let the scale settle. Yeah, crap. 0.032 grams. I'm going to weigh up everything that I've got here. This is my entire take for the past couple years. Oh, yippee. 0.118 grams. That's pathetic. Well, a couple weeks ago, a friend and I tried doing a smelt on silver. I've done it before. I figured I could do it again, but this time the silver and the lead all got hung up in the slag and we didn't get a good separation. So, to try and recover from this accident, I'm going to, what am I going to do? Crap. I'll just grind this stuff up and reprocess it just like if it was regular ore. Alright, this is our little flail mill. Since the consistency of this slag is pretty glassy, this should do the trick. We're just going to run all this stuff through and grind it down. Man, I tell you, that's a load off your ears. Shutting that thing down is just relief. Alright, next we're going to screen this stuff out. Get all of our big chunky stuff out, which is probably going to be lead with silver encased in it. So we'll process that separately, maybe grind it down again. But our next step is over to the RP Force shaker table. And we're going to shake this stuff out. See if we can separate some of this slag garbage from the good ore. That would be the silver-lead combination. We'll just feed it in dry. This slag stuff wets out pretty easily. Normally on a shaker table you want to feed your materials in wet. Let's shut it off and see what we're getting. You need to make sure that the table's adjusted properly. So we should have a band of our heavies across the top, leading to our number one dropout trough. And it looks like we're doing that. So we're going to kick it into high gear and hammer through this material so I don't bore you to death. There's really not much to see, being that the material is black and so is the table. Now here's our dropouts here. This is the number ones, which is at the top of the screen. Number twos are in the middle. And the number threes are, well, let me get this out of the way here. Our number threes are down in the lower bucket, the lower catch. And of course all of our garbage goes out the number fours. So here's our number twos and here's our number ones. So let's get to work and see what we can get out of this stuff. So we'll start off by weighing out about 150 grams of this material. That's good. 120 will do. Alright. Then we're going to add some nitric acid. Nitric acid will dissolve the silver and the lead into solution. However, when we process at the end, we'll put copper in. The copper will precipitate the silver but not the lead, so the lead will stay in solution. So we've got our nitric acid in, and now we got to put it on to start warming up. You can tell it's cooking. It's putting out the brown stuff. That's the stuff you don't want to be inhaling. So after a while we took a look at this, stirred it frequently. Since it is such a thick, dense material that we're acidifying, we need to stir it frequently, or it will just pack up on the bottom and all of our material won't get exposed. Well, after about an hour of stirring and cooking, we have our solution. Let it cool down. You don't want to pour hot acid through a filter. It'll eat right through the filter and then you won't be filtering. And we'll put a little water in it just to knock it down so it's not so acidic. And we'll give it one last stir just for shits and giggles. Well, it's time to start filtering this stuff. Excuse my elbow while I reach up and turn on my vacuum pump. And here we go. I know what you're thinking to yourself. Boring. Yeah, chemistry sometimes is boring. But when shit explodes, that's a 10 in my book. Alright, we got that in the filter. We'll put some more water in here and rinse our solution off of our rocks. And we'll pour that through the filter as well. We don't want to lose any of our silver. This stuff came out pretty good. Got a nice clear solution. Not a bunch of crap in it. And theoretically, this solution should contain silver. Well, here's our silver solution. We're going to put some copper in it and condense out the silver. This is our filter. This is the crap that we filtered out of it. So we put the solution into this little beaker and inserted our copper coil. And you can see pretty quickly it started to react and the copper started to change color. As the copper goes into solution, it will knock the silver out of solution as a white precipitant with a cottage cheese looking consistency. Now here we've really got a lot of foam building up, a lot of reaction going on, and in fact it looks like we're going to have ourselves a runaway reaction. So I'd better do something about this before it gets out of hand. So we'll start off by putting a spill tray underneath it. I should have done this experiment in the spill tray to start with, just in case. But here's all the foam that we're getting. And in fact, it boiled over. So let's pull the copper out and set it aside, let things calm down for a bit. Well, I topped off the beaker with some more of the liquid that we had and completed the precipitation procedure. And we got a nice dark color here. I'm not used to it being this dark. It's usually a bluish color, light bluish green, more towards the consistency of what is spilled in the pan here. So I'll transfer it into another beaker and we'll let this settle overnight. But I did notice something in the tray. There's little white specks, little cottage cheesy looking specks in the tray, which means we are precipitating silver. So I expect there to be some silver in the beaker. But this proves my point that I was looking for silver in this rock, and it was there. So we'll just put this beaker in with some copper, let it sit overnight, and come back the next day and see what we've got. So just remember, no matter how badly you screw up, there's always room for improvement.
Approximately 10 hours later.
Now the next day when I did come back, there was silver in the beaker. There was the white precipitate at the bottom. I ran that through the filter and filtered it out, but there was so little of it, it wasn't worth smelting. So we'll just save it and do it later in another batch. Well, that's it for this round. Hope you enjoyed it. See ya.